Welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jing Ruder. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I'm a certified dementia practitioner. So here at Just Upright, there's so many things going on, okay? So I do videos on how to apply here as a foreign trained physical therapist, how to become a licensed physical therapist in the US. So I have a playlist that you can hit. There are more than 40 videos there, and your questions might be answered by those videos that I previously made. Okay, so check that one out. Take time to watch it before asking questions because some of the questions were already answered in those videos. I also have videos about life in general, okay, about health, fun videos, inspirational videos. You can check that one out. Also videos, compilation of videos on how to do physical therapy documentation, and some videos about how to be an on-call physical therapist. So you can check that one out. Also, please check out the books that I have published on Amazon.com. They are available there. If you type Ginalyn, Ginalyn Ruder, all my books will pop out. So I have Just Upright, Practical Tips to improve your posture, balance, and decrease fall risk. These are for older adults. This is for therapists as well. If you want to be updated with the evidence-based practice and simple home exercise program, patient education, I also have clinician corner here that you can read the recommended and simple standardized tests backed by research studies. So this one is for you. For foreign trained therapists, I have PT Path to US, foreign trained physical therapist step-by-step guide to US application. So if you are lost in the process, this book might be of help for you. And then read this book and then watch my videos. It will help you tremendously. Okay, practical tips for therapists prior to migrating or starting your US practice. This book is full of wisdom before you step into the world of therapy, okay, before you start your practice. So check those one out. I'm going to make series of videos about where therapists, rehabilitation therapists work, okay? I have some viewers before who asked me to make videos and give, some insight as to the practice settings or the facilities where physical therapists and other therapists work here in the US. So we're going to start with the skilled nursing facility. And I will start with the pros or the advantages, and then we're going to go to the cons or disadvantages. But I want to be clear, guys. I'm going to share my personal experience, and these advantages and disadvantages can be different for other therapists based on their experience. These advantages and disadvantages are greatly affected by the state, what state you're working, what company do you work for. There are so many influences, or there's so many factors affecting the advantages and disadvantages in working in different settings. Okay, I posted a question. I got some information from colleagues. I asked them the advantages and disadvantages of working in different settings, and those are the ones that I'm going to deliver to you directly from the therapist who has been working or who had worked in different settings. Okay, so let's hop on. Okay, so skilled nursing facility. This is one of the most common setting where you can find physical therapists, occupational therapists, speech therapists. The skilled nursing facility, many people think it's just the old people's place, okay, where people go there and die, okay? So it is way beyond that notion right now. There is like different facilities here in St. Louis, Missouri, where we have continuum of care, meaning it's like a compound, buildings next to each other. There's like an independent, almost like hotel-like, Independent facility, it's like regular apartment for seniors. So it's an apartment, they do everything for themselves, but the setup, the bathroom, the toilet, the bathroom, the shower, the accessibility of the door, it's all set up for older adults. So that's the difference of that senior facility, independent living, from a regular apartment. Okay, so they have a independent living facility, then they have assisted living facility, and it depends on the company. It varies significantly, but in general, assisted living facility, they may they can prepare food for you. You can go to their cafeteria and order. There's a nurse to do the medication. If you want, they can do your laundry, they can clean your room for you. So assisted in like instrumental of activities of daily living, but you still should be able to take care of yourself, like the basic activities of daily living, like going to the bathroom, cleaning, being able to do your hygiene, dressing, undressing, transferring yourself, walking. I encounter some assisted living facility that actually offer more assistance, but for a higher fee. Some assisted living facility is very strict that if you're not able to transfer yourself, you cannot be in that assisted living facility. Okay, so they have independent living, you have assisted living. Now, if you cannot really transfer yourself, you need help with cleaning up after going to the bathroom, you need help with dressing and undressing, you need help with medication, that is a skilled nursing facility. Okay, extensive care is needed. So there's like a compound of this building continuum of care from independent living, assisted living, and skilled nursing facility. Okay, so in the skilled nursing facility, there is the long-term care, and there's also a short-term rehabilitation wing, okay, or short-term rehabilitation side. So it's no longer true that when you hear the word skilled nursing facility, is just for older people, because the short-term rehabilitation department or area or side is actually for all age range. I even had a patient who's 20 years old, okay, in the skilled nursing facility, short-term care, so from 20 to 105 or more. Okay, those are the range of your patient. So, but commonly there are patients who are in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 70, 80, 90, 100 in that short-term rehabilitation side. So let's talk about the advantages of working in a skilled nursing facility, especially with short-term rehabilitation care. So like I said, various age range, we know right now that there are so many chronic medical conditions such as COPD, diabetes, peripheral vascular disease, congestive heart failure, okay, and orthopedic conditions such as fall, fracture, hip replacement, knee replacement, shoulder replacement, back fusion, back surgery. So working in a skilled nursing facility with short-term care or short-term rehabilitation will allow you as a therapist to be exposed to different various medical conditions. You can manage patients who are older adults. You can manage patients who are in their middle age patient dealing with different conditions, and your medical conditions can vary from cardiac, for pulmonary, cancer patient, diabetes with complications, with amputations, patient with Alzheimer's disease, orthopedic condition, fracture, hip replacement, joint, and different kind of joint replacements. So you will be enriched as a therapist with regards to the conditions that you will be managing. So it's a good place to work and be trained on how to manage different conditions. So the people who are going to the short-term care or short-term rehabilitation are people who went to the hospital, and most of the time they are not safe yet to go back home, especially if they're alone, and they needed more therapy so that they can be stronger and safer to go back to their living environment. Okay, so that is one of the advantages of working in the short-term rehabilitation side. Okay, in the long-term rehabilitation side, if you love older adults, then you will love talking to this patient, just getting wisdom about life. If you want advice, on how to live a long life, what's the secret of long marriage, what's the secret of being able to raise up good children, you can ask, and they are more than willing to give you advice. The wisdom coming from these older adults are precious. You get to help them get better, so that they will have more ease and safety in their transferring, getting in and out of bed. If they're still walking, you will be able to decrease the risk of falling. So there are so much beauty in working in skilled nursing facility. You get to work with this special individual. So another advantage of working in skilled nursing facility is, compared to other setting, it has a more decent pay. Here in Missouri, working in skilled nursing facility has a higher pay in general, and again, there's exception depending on what company you work for, but in general, the skilled nursing facility pays higher than outpatient setting. Okay, outpatient facility. Okay, and another advantage for me, I am just an on-call therapist. I'm not a full-time therapist. Okay, I'm on call. So depending on your state, depending on your location, depending on the company you work for, if you work for a big company and they have so many facilities around your area, it can be a good source of PRN job. Okay, and I have known some therapists who are just pure PRN. Okay, they don't work full-time, but they are just working for one or more companies as PRN or on-call therapists. So here in St. Louis, Missouri, actually, physical therapists are in high demand. I get emails every single day about physical therapy opening, okay, job opening, because there are so many companies, big or small, in different settings in need of physical therapy, physical therapists, okay? So there are so many opportunities in the skilled nursing facility. Okay, now let's talk about the disadvantages, okay? Number one disadvantage in working in skilled nursing facility, especially for a full-time, worker, full-time therapist, is productivity. And this is a killer for therapists. It causes a lot of burnouts. Productivity, meaning if they say 90% productivity for physical therapists, or 85% for assistants. And again, this is depending on the company that you work for. Different companies have different productivity requirements. So meaning, for example, if you're there for 4 hours or 8 hours, 90% of the time should be a billed time, meaning you treated patients 90% of the time. So the downtime is low, okay? And this is very hard. I used to be a full-time therapist, and it is very hard to keep up with productivity because things happen. Like in a nursing home, you cannot really, number one, you cannot predict what will be your schedule the following day, because patients, get admitted, get discharged, go to the hospital. So you don't get to really choose your patients. your rehab manager usually do the schedule for you. And then the patients, you have to go to one patient to another, and just to get a patient who's ready for therapy. Okay, so some patients, you get to go to their room, ask them if they're ready for therapy, and they will tell you, come back later, I'm not yet ready. Some of them are eating, some of them are in activities, and they don't want to get out of the activities, like bingo, and or they're watching movie or things like that. So you have to reschedule them later and go search for another patient who is willing to do therapy with you. Or sometimes you want to see a patient, but the patient is on dialysis, or the patient will have doctor's appointment. So there's so many things going on, and your schedule can be very crazy because you get to go and try different patients, but they're not yet ready. Okay, so that affects the productivity of the therapist. Okay, and then you will get, of course, email or text message or call from your boss that your productivity is low, and you feel bad. Okay, so that is a cause of major burnout in skilled nursing facility. I think some of the colleagues also, some outpatient facility, depending on the company you work for, can also set a high demand for productivity. So that's one major disadvantage in working for skilled nursing facility. But if you know how to manage your time, and if most of your patients are cooperative and easy to get, and it also helps if the building has rehabilitation aids. I had one building, they had aid, and they get the patient for you, so you're not like running around like crazy looking for patients and wasting your time. Okay, so that will help a lot with productivity if the building has rehab aid who will get your patient for you, and who will take your patient back to the room after you're done with them. So that saves a lot of time, and that helps with the productivity. Okay, so there are buildings, for the most part, they have no lift policy, meaning if the patient is really hard to transfer, nursing should use Hoyer lift or the sit-to-stand machine to prevent injury to the back. But as a therapist, if you're working for with the goal of improving the sit-to-stand and transfer from bed to wheelchair, there are times really that you really need to exert effort to help the patient stand up and transfer. So the lifting can be very hard on the body, on your back, especially if you already are suffering from low back pain, bulging disc, and the like. Okay, so lifting, it can be very tedious for your body. Okay, so the next disadvantage, and most therapists might not be talking about this openly in social media or YouTube channel, but the reality is personal care. Sometimes you have to help the patient with their personal care, if they went to the bathroom, if they had an accident, okay, and there is no CNA caregiver who can help you clean them up, change their clothes, or they are still in their bed clothes, night clothes, and they're not yet ready to get up because the CNA is attending to another patient, and your patient is under your time, and you really need to help the patient so that the patient can be ready for your therapy. So it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes it does happen. So during those times, you really need to be open, and you cannot say, this is not my job, this is their job, but you have to use your professional judgment. If helping a patient is with this task you are also training the patient on how to transfer, on how to do bed mobility, on how to perform the task safely. Okay. So I'm sure I left out some advantages and disadvantages about working in nursing homes. But in general, those are some of the major things. But if you have idea that I did not mention, you can just comment down below and let me know what I missed, and I can put it on my next video. For now, thank you for watching. I hope this is helpful. I hope that if you haven't started your practice, this give you some insight on what it is like, even a little bit, to work in a skilled nursing facility setup. So thank you for watching. Make sure to share this channel to your friends, to your colleagues, anyone you know who will benefit from it, because our goal is to help as many people as we can for as much as we can. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to hit the subscribe button below to be updated with the latest video releases. Share this channel to other people you know who will benefit from Just Upright videos. Thank you again, and stay blessed.